The big deal about Jesus is that through no other story and through no other, thing of this earth are we offered what Jesus has offered us, and that's, an everlasting life, a life with purpose, and love. Jesus' life is so well documented that that we don't really have an excuse not to know what the perfect life is, and that's His.
God created us to be with Him, and we chose ourselves over God. And in Jesus, God came to make a way for us to be in relationship with Him eternally, where we couldn't do that. And so it's kind of the simple gospel message, but the complex part about the big deal about Jesus, I would say, is that as simple as that is, it's immeasurable and it's unsearchable and it's inexhaustible.
He is the Son of God, that God now revealed to me forever what He looks like, acts like, and is. Because of Jesus, my life makes sense. If I follow His will and do what He's directed to me to do, pretty much anything He asks I can do with His help. So it gives me purpose and it gives me meaning.
The big deal about Jesus is that God would come to the earth to love us, to show us how to love, to show us what mercy and grace and sacrificial love really is. And that God would come to this very earth to save us and to show us what real relationship is like and what real life is like.
The big deal about Jesus to me is that Jesus truly was a people person. He cared about people and where they were. He went out of His way to make and have relationships with them. He really wants a relationship with me and with everybody else.
The big deal about Jesus is that when we find ourselves without hope, we can find hope in Him. 2 Corinthians 5 tells us that when we are in Christ, new things begin and old things fall away. And I first encountered Christ when I didn't have a whole lot of hope in my life, and I needed something new, and He gave me that.
To me, He's central to everything. Probably from the time I was 4, I've known His presence, and it's kind of grown from best friend to center of my universe. The decisions I make, the way I work, the way I interact with people, I filter all of that through what would Jesus want me to do, who does He want me to be, and who am I as God's child because of my relationship with Jesus.
Jesus is a big deal because He's got both aspects to Him. He's that person of good words and good deeds to those people that need those on the streets and those people that don't normally get that from the people. But He's also that person that will stick up for people when they need that person in their lives to almost pick a fight for them and to stick up for them when they don't have anyone else to stick up for them.
The big deal about Jesus is that He was real and He lived 2,000 years ago, and yet His Spirit still lives inside of all of us who believe in Him. I think about this story that we tell the kids at Good News Club all the time, some of whom have never heard about Jesus, about how God made all of us, and we made some selfish decisions and separated ourselves from God. And God loved us so much that He sent His Son here to be a bridge so that we could have a relationship with Him again. It just amazes me that the God of the universe loves me enough to come here to save me.